Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter's Movie Reviews. And today I want to talk about the 2026 Oscar nominated and Oscar winner for documentary short film. I watched it last week randomly. It was not on my list of movies to watch. So for those of you that do not know, I watched almost every Oscar nominated film this year. I watched all the movies that were nominated for Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress. I watched almost all the movies. Well, I watched all those movies this year. And I watched like 3 of the documentaries. And so one night, I think it was the night I finished Trade Dreams and F1, I was like, I was just going through Netflix and I was like looking to see what other movies were over there that I hadn't caught yet. And I had watched Singers, which was a short film. I don't think it was, it won too, actually. It won for a tie. I can't remember which category it was in, but short film. Anyway, and I loved it. So I was like, does Netflix have all the short films over there? So I was going to watch all the short films. When I watched All the Empty Rooms, I actually thought it was in the same category. I don't know why I didn't connect it as a documentary lover. I thought it was in the same category as Singers because I thought, well, does Netflix have all of the short film category like nominated films over here? So I just randomly put this short movie on. I think it was like 35 minutes. I actually have it pulled up right here. It's 33 minutes, All the Empty Rooms. Steve Hartman and Lou Bopp embark on a 7-year-long project to document the empty bedrooms of children killed in school shootings. Okay, so I started watching this, and I thought, well, I've got, 35 minutes to watch this film. I didn't really think much about it going into it. I have seen so many really well-done documentaries about school shootings. I used to have a true crime book club that I ran for 6 years with one of my very good friends, an online book club, and we read Columbine by Dave Cullen. I've seen almost like every documentary, like I said. I'm very well researched into this area and very interested in it as well. So I was kind of surprised that I hadn't heard about this. So when I went into it, I didn't really know what to expect at all. I had no idea, except for that it was about this journalist, and I'd heard of him. I thought I'd heard of Steve Hartman and how he and this photographer would go into rooms of kids that had, died in school shootings, and that they would photograph their rooms. So when the documentary starts, it is fantastic. I will tell you, it is devastatingly sad. But the purpose behind this movie is so, so important. And I have to tell you, so when the movie starts, they're down to the final 3 rooms. They've been doing this journey for 7 years. I don't know if they're doing a longer documentary film that will show more of it. They don't really explain the whole project behind it. That's the one thing about the film, is that they don't explain the whole project behind it, what they're going to do with it when it's done. They kind of slightly go into it. But I don't know if it's going to be this photojournalistic series that they're going to put out, or if it's going to be one longer documentary. I don't really know if it's going to be a book. I kind of got the impression that it was going to be a book. But the purpose about it is that our attitude, and it's all from this journalist point of view, Steve Hartman, who is known as, he's been on every major news show, Good Morning America. He's been on everything, right? And he was known as being this journalist that was very funny. And he would in news segments, in 60 Minutes and things like that, was doing very funny kind of little thing. I think he was on 60 Minutes at one point or one time. And he would do these very funny kind of endings to the show. And he was known for doing funny stuff. Well, he was one of the very first people that covered Columbine, and he was supposed to turn it into kind of this moment. And what he realized was there was no way to turn it into, how do you end an episode of the news with this kind of thought-provoking, learning lesson? He was supposed to turn it into kind of a learning lesson. And he was like, I don't really know what to do. And so they show what he said, and it's just this very moving moment where he's just this is what do we even say about this? Well, then what he talks about is that over the years, he ended up covering a lot of the news coverage for school shootings in our country. And that what he realized, and I think this is so true, is that, I can remember years and years and years ago, I can't remember the school shooting that happened in the small town in Connecticut. Anyway, Sandy Hook. And the documentary about Sandy Hook is fantastic. And I can remember watching it on the news. I was wrapping Christmas presents downstairs, and I can remember watching it when they were like leading the little kids, like classroom by classroom, out of the school. And I can just remember just sitting there bawling my eyes out. Like, it just was devastatingly sad, right? And he says in there that we've become immune as a society to it, that there are so many school shootings that happen on a regular basis that we're just so immune to it. And I think that there's such truth in that. I really think that there's a lot of truth in that. So his mission behind this was, if we could show who these children were, and we could show them through their rooms and the stories that their families tell, then we would see them as human beings. We wouldn't be as immune to it anymore, because we would like be able to see who they were as people. So they go into they've done it for 7 years. They go into all these children's rooms with the permission of their families, and they photograph their rooms. I think his name is Lou Bopp, the photographer, and he's fantastic. And he goes in there, and it's like they've kept the rooms pretty much exactly the same since the children died. And so he'll like go under the bed. Like in one bed, there's like a soda can or something. And then he goes like on the dresser. It's not just like a picture of the room, okay? Like he takes very specific pictures of like all these friendship bracelets that are just like on the table, and like, you know, with like a movie ticket stub or something. Like they just came home and took off the bracelets and put them down. So they go to 3 families that are diversely different, and they tell each of the families tell the stories, and how they really hope that by humanizing their children's stories, they'll keep their children alive. Their stories will keep on, you know, helping other people, hopefully. The parents were just like unbelievable in this. When I watched the Academy Awards, okay, the Academy Awards this year for me were so emotional because, I don't know, just the in memoriam part just really got me. But the other part that got me was, and I'm really happy that I watched this short because of this. When they walked on stage, they won for Best Documentary Short. When they walked on stage, I noticed immediately it was the producer, who I didn't know, and I think it was 3 guys. It was the producer, Lou Bopp, the photographer wasn't up there, but it was like the producer and Steve Hartman, and then there was this woman, and I immediately knew it was the mother of this one girl that had died. It was the last person they cover in the documentary. I immediately knew it was her. And so they give her the Oscar. And the last time that I saw something like this happen was when years and years and years ago, I think it was the year or the year after that Schindler's List won, and a documentary about Auschwitz won. And it was about, they followed one concentration camp survivor, this woman. And when they gave her the Oscar, because she was like the subject of the documentary, I will never forget this. Her speech forever changed my life. And she said, for 50 years, I've asked myself the same question every single day when I wake up: why me? I am no different. And the power of movies and speeches and the subjects of documentary film are so important because they really impact us. And when the mother got up there and she said, you know, like, we want to humanize this, and so people, and like, to me, it completely moved me. This is a documentary that cannot be missed. It is 33 minutes of your life, and I'm begging you to watch this documentary. It's on Netflix right now. You can watch it over there. It's called All the Empty Rooms. It's fantastically done. It's done tastefully. It's done respectfully. The families are interviewed. I will tell you, it is very, very sad. It's not for kids to watch. It is heart-wrenching. But it is beautifully, while it's honest and raw, it is also beautifully, beautifully done. So I wanted to make sure, before I tied up this year with the Oscar nominations and winners and covering them, I wanted to make sure that I did cover this movie because it was fantastically done. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.